Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the TWSBI Go, changing nibs and potential issues that you can have, because if you've got a TWSBI, the same thing goes for the Go, as it were, as also goes with the Eco and I assume similar pens. So let's have a look. Right, now I've got to just explain that I am today talking about TWSBIs again because I was going to be doing an awful lot of other stuff, but the other stuff had a slight glitch. I uploaded the latest version of Mac operating system to my iMac on Thursday, and from Friday I haven't had a functioning machine. So Friday I discovered my trackpad wasn't working and the keyboard was complaining bitterly. So I took the machine, well, I phoned up Apple on Monday, went through 3 hours of hotline support. Apple staff are very helpful, it has to be said, but they didn't fix the problem. So then, yesterday, Tuesday, I had to gather up my devices and take them all into the nearest Apple store, which is a round trip of an hour and a quarter or so. Paid a load of money for parking and all the other good stuff, and as a result, I was informed I had to wipe the complete disk, re-download Apple's Monterey operating system because it was probably the operating system that had caused some sort of a glitch. Maybe a particular couple of lines of code hadn't downloaded properly, who can tell. So I got back yesterday, I backed up the whole machine, I did a time capsule thing. That took about 8 hours in total, and then, yep, got the machine back to working again. So last night I ran the re-download of Monterey, and today I am now restoring all of the data I had yesterday that had to be wiped and then put onto Time Machine. Ruddy computers. So today I'm afraid I'm just a bit tired, and I thought, no, I'm going to do a video that's a bit easier for me rather than something that you necessarily like. So today we're talking about TWSBI Go's because I like TWSBI Go's. Anything I'm going to show you now is exactly the same, I believe, for a TWSBI Eco. Other TWSBI pens may be subtly different, but these pens, I think, are some of the best value, best designed pens that there are on the market. I just love them to death. So let's have a look at them. So here we are back at my standing desk. When you receive a TWSBI Go, you get a delightful little package like this, and it should actually be that way round so you can see what it is. Let's just get it out, and then you have this nice package, and the pen is held in this little sleeve which stops it rolling around. You get instructions, TWSBI Go user manual it says, which is very detailed. It shows you have to take the cap off, unscrew the back, push the plunger down into some ink, release the plunger and put the back on. Really complicated instructions. So this is how your TWSBI Go will appear if you go and buy one. Now, sometimes things go wrong. This is not necessarily something to do with the manufacturing process or anything similar. This can be something totally different, such as your dog finding your TWSBI Go and deciding that it looks like a really tempting morsel, and so she eats it. This poor little TWSBI Go suffered slightly, as you can tell. It isn't a very happy pen now, is it? But the dog's not been destroyed. She is still here because I do like her lots. even if she is destructive or was a destructive little monster when she was a pup. Damn dogs. But there's an interesting thing here which I am now going to show you. The pen and the feed are very simple. Sorry, the nib and the feed. The nib just fits into a recess on top of the feed like that, and you can push it into the top of the Go, and then all you have to do is, when it's in there, turn it slightly and push it in. That's it. That's now a properly fitted nib and feed. Now, difficulty is, if you are to keep doing this, as you can see, this feed has been rather badly damaged because the ribs at the base here are broken off. Now, very often the feed units on pens are made of ebonite, and ebonite is quite brittle. It's also incredibly intolerant of heat. So if you ever flush your pen, never, I don't care what the make is, never run the risk of flushing it in hot water, because it's quite likely you will damage the feed. But I decided earlier today that I would look at this pen, and this feed was actually in this pen, and I thought, well, why don't I take that one out and replace it with a good one? So I did. I took out this one from this mangled pen and put it into this pen, which is working fine. It did have a standard medium nib. Well, as you will know from my ink reviews, I like reviewing things with a 1.1mm stub. So I'm going to stick with this. So to take the nib and feed out, it is just a case of pulling it straight out. Let's just show that again. So here we have a nib and feed. Take that off. And they have, you can see the nib sort of moves forward and then just hits a buffer there. So it just fits on top there ever so neatly. It doesn't matter which direction this is sitting in, which plane it's in. All you have to do is push them in, and then, I don't know how visible this is, but just here you might be able to see that there's a clearer gap just beyond where the feed has gone. The feed won't go any further right now, and the reason is that at the bottom here it has been cut away slightly, so it's not a perfectly cylindrical shape. It is flat on the bottom there. That flatness on the bottom fits into a or the flatness doesn't fit. The cylindrical section fits all the way back, but there's a section at one side of it that isn't cylindrical, that's flat. So all you have to do is put them in, and then that's as far as it will go currently. Turn the thing round and push slightly on the nib, and suddenly it will go straight in like that. And it is really that easy. It's very straightforward. Just be gentle with it, don't force it. So I'm just going to put this one into the other one now. So that's the nib and feed aligned. Again, you can feel it because the nib just sits on a slight shelf at the top of the feed here. And then you poke the nib and feed into the pen, rotate it slightly, and then it goes all the way in like that. Perfectly aligned and fitted nicely. And it is that easy. So that's interesting, isn't it? That now means you are fully qualified to go out, get a pen like this, and very gently and carefully, without the use of any hot water or anything else, pull the nib and feed out. Again, I can't stress this highly enough. It's something that was told to me by Dante Del Vecchio many years ago. But he said you should always be aware, that that all fountain pens generally have an ebonite or similar type of feed system underneath the nib, and it's quite fragile, as you saw from the way that I'd pulled off a load of the ribs on my old one. But as well as being fragile, they are also very intolerant of heat, so don't ever put a pen, especially not an expensive pen like a Visconti, into hot water. It won't do the pen any good, and then you'll be crying for a long time when you see the bill for a replacement nib and feed. So that's it for now. Interesting times. For those who are interested, Spotty Dog is about to return. The vet has told us that her ashes are available, so we're going to be taking her and sprinkling her in her favourite locations on Dartmoor and all around. Oddly enough, we're going to have to do the same thing for 2 Bernese Mountain Dogs and a Ridgeback at the same time, because we have their ashes and we never quite got round to distributing them. So now we can distribute 4 dogs' ashes all at the same time. They all like the same places, so it doesn't matter. Hope that was interesting. Thanks a lot for watching. If you really like this channel, please do consider going to my Patreon account, because every little helps when you're trying to get hold of things, and I do have a few items I need to try to get hold of to review, so any help with that would be gratefully received. In the meantime, like it, share it, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, and all that stuff. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.